if you're going through grief, me as well. But there's something you need to learn. One of them is called repression. Another one I'm going to explain deeply is something ingrained on coping mechanisms that are embedded in our personality and in your personality that you must learn today. So Elias woke up each morning, marking the days on his calendar: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. A quiet rhythm since his parents' death, one in his youth, the other in his weary middle age. Suffering had become his shadow, a disease untreated, masked only superficially by the denial he clung to. He told himself their loss was a distant memory, but like an untreated illness, it festered and worsened, leaving him restless and unmoored. Internally, he built psychological defenses, representing the headache, blaming his friends for their shallow condolences. Yet the pain never disappeared. It was a deep-seated coping mechanism, ingrained in his personality, a strategy to avoid facing the void. He knew others like him, acquaintances, who projected their faults onto the wall, condemning themselves to a lifetime of unhappiness as long as they stayed trapped in that pattern. One rainy afternoon, flipping through an old notebook, Elias stumbled upon a passage about the Dalai Lama's approach to happiness. It struck him. Suffering was part of the human existence, a natural fact he could neither escape nor ignore. The words lingered. If you remain ignorant of the dish and combat capabilities of your enemy, you will totally be unprepared and paralyzed by fear. His enemy wasn't just grief, but his ignorance of it. He realized as long as he avoided confronting his pain, he was defenseless, paralyzed by fear of the memories, his mother's final breath, his father's silent decline. Determined to change, Elias began small. On a quiet Tuesday, he faced a problem: a box of his mother's letters. His heart raced, but he read one, letting the tears come down. The next day, he tackled his father's old watch, holding it as he recalled their last conversation. Each act felt like engaging in a war, knowing the weapons of his grief: death, old age, and unbearable mental uneasiness they left behind. The day of his birth, he mused, was indeed the birth of his suffering, rooted in ignorance, craving for what was lost, and a quiet hatred of his helplessness. Weeks passed, and Elias sought insight. He learned the Buddhist view that suffering stemmed from ignorance and misperception of self. Meditating each morning, he walked to demonstrate insight